Ever wondered why you end up doing things you never intended to do? Could you be under the spell of a master manipulator? Welcome to the enigmatic world of manipulation, a subtle art that can seep into your life as silently as a shadow, especially in relationships. Manipulation at its core is a form of emotional exploitation that's often hard to detect. It's a psychological tactic used to influence a person's thoughts and actions without their knowledge. The manipulator uses clever and covert techniques to change the perception of their target, making them question their own sanity, values, and self-worth. In the context of relationships, manipulation can take on various forms, each as cunning and damaging as the other. Today we will delve into the 7 signs that indicate that a girl is manipulating you. These signs will help you understand if you are being manipulated and how you can protect yourself. Stay tuned as we unveil the 7 signs that a girl is manipulating you. Ever been accused of not caring enough when you don't comply with a request? Welcome to sign 1, emotional blackmail. Emotional blackmail is a powerful form of manipulation where someone close to you leverages your feelings of guilt, fear, or obligation to get what they want. It usually follows a pattern. The manipulator makes a demand, backs it up with a threat, often emotional, and then you feel compelled to comply to avoid the negative outcome. Here's an example. Let's say you're planning a night out with friends. Your partner, however, wants you to stay in. They might say something like, "If you loved me, you'd stay home with me." Suddenly, you're faced with a choice. Go out and risk hurting your partner or stay in and forgo your own plans. This is emotional blackmail, so if you often find yourself feeling guilty for no apparent reason, you might be a victim of emotional blackmail. Ever doubted your own memory or sanity after a conversation? That's our sign 3, gaslighting. This subtle yet potent form of manipulation involves the manipulator purposefully making you question your own perception of reality. It's like someone subtly moving the furniture in your house, causing you to trip, and then blaming you for not paying attention to where you're going. The effects? A slow erosion of your confidence and a growing dependence on the manipulator for your sense of reality. Consider this scenario. You're certain you left your keys on the table, but your partner insists you misplaced them. Over time, you start doubting your memory. That's gaslighting. It's a powerful tool in the manipulator's arsenal designed to make you feel unstable and more easily controlled. Remember, gaslighting is a powerful manipulation tactic that can make you question your own reality. Ever noticed how some people always seem to be the victim, no matter the situation? This is sign 3, victim playing. Victim playing is an artful manipulation tactic where the manipulator portrays themselves as an innocent sufferer, often in an exaggerated or false manner. By doing this, they cunningly shift the blame onto others and evade personal responsibility. Take an example. Let's say a girl is consistently late to meet you. Instead of apologizing, she spins a tale about how her boss is always overloading her with work or how her roommates never respect her time. This way she gets your sympathy and dodges any criticism or consequence for her tardiness. The key here is to be mindful of patterns. If someone always seems to be the victim and others are always at fault, it might be a clear sign of manipulation. Victim playing is a classic manipulation tactic. Don't fall for it. Ever been met with a wall of silence when you try to communicate? That's sign 4, the silent treatment. It's a manipulative tactic where one person withdraws from communication, often to convey dissatisfaction or punish the other. The aim, to make you feel guilty, anxious, and powerless. It's psychological warfare at its most passive-aggressive. Imagine this, you've upset someone, but instead of expressing their feelings, they retreat into a shell of silence. You're left guessing, questioning your actions, your words. Your mind becomes a whirlwind of what-ifs and if-onlys. This tactic is a silent scream for attention, a demand for you to take responsibility for their emotions. But here's the twist. You're not responsible for anyone's feelings but your own. The silent treatment is more than just a refusal to speak. It's a refusal to engage, to resolve, to communicate. The silent treatment is not just rude, it's a form of control. Ever been showered with affection only to be suddenly devalued? These are signs 5 and 6, love bombing and devaluation. Love bombing, the 5th sign, is a manipulative tactic where a person is overwhelmed with affection, praise, and attention. This is often used early on in a relationship, creating a powerful emotional connection. The love bomber might shower you with compliments, gifts, and promises of a perfect future together. It's like a whirlwind romance, and it's easy to get swept off your feet. But here's the catch. This isn't about genuine love or affection. It's about control. The love bomber wants to make you emotionally dependent on them, to make you feel like you can't live without their love and attention, which brings us to the sixth sign, devaluation. After the love bombing phase, the manipulator suddenly and drastically changes their behavior. The compliments stop. They might start criticizing you, belittling you, or making you feel worthless. This is a stark contrast to the love bombing phase, and it's designed to make you feel confused and insecure. And here's how they work together. Love bombing makes you emotionally invested in the relationship, while devaluation makes you feel like you have to work harder to regain the manipulator's affection. It's a cycle of highs and lows, of intense love followed by harsh criticism. For example, in the love bombing phase, the manipulator might say things like, "You're the most beautiful person I've ever met. I can't imagine my life without you." But in the devaluation phase, they might say, "You're not as attractive as you think you are. I don't know why I'm with you." Love bombing and devaluation can be extremely damaging to your self-esteem and emotional well-being. It's important to recognize these tactics and understand that they're not about you, but about the manipulator's need for control. Love bombing and devaluation is a toxic cycle. Don't let yourself get caught in it. Ever felt you're in a competition with an unseen third party? That's our final sign, triangulation. Triangulation is a psychological tactic where one person uses a third party to manipulate a relationship. It's like being caught in a triangle of tension and confusion. Let's break it down. Picture this. You're in a relationship with Jane. Suddenly Jane starts mentioning a friend, John, quite frequently. John seems to be perfect. He's funny, successful, and shares Jane's interests. Jane often compares you to him, subtly hinting that you're somehow lacking. This is a classic example of triangulation. The aim here is to create a sense of rivalry and insecurity. You start feeling like you have to fight for Jane's attention and approval, which you shouldn't have to. The manipulator, Jane in this case, uses this as a tool to control and influence your behavior. Triangulation creates tension and insecurity. Don't let it undermine your self-worth.